What's up?
Hey, Kelly!
Hi.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're finally here again.
Yep.
It's
back
been-
here in the basement where you belong.
Listen, I like to be honest with our listeners and our viewers. It's been a minute.
We're lazy and inconsistent.
No, life happens, you
Sure
know?
does.
Like things change and there's always reasons that people go on breaks. And there was legitimate reasons this time, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, if you've noticed, I'm withering away to nothing. Yes, I've lost 10 pounds.
so skinny.
Oh my god! It's like I'm a twig. I gotta eat something.
I alternatively have just been
Packing it in. No, you've been getting svelte and muscular recently.
Trying it. I had like a phase and now I'm drifting away from it, but I need to come back around,
What's the phase? Like working out, or was it like
Yeah.
being conscious of it?
I don't know, drinking black coffee in the morning and that diet where it was just Chardonnay and steak. You know? It's from like the 70s where it's just like eat a steak,
Just a steak?
and like eggs and like just white wine.
Oh. I don't know if I like that. That sounds a little
It's
interesting.
horrible. It's a terrible, not real diet.
There are a lot of terrible, not real diets for sure on the show. On the show?
On the show of life.
Of life. Hi, Kelly.
Hey.
It's time. This is
Yeah.
why I'm gay.
This is why I'm gay.
This is really why I'm gay.
Yeah. Procrastination.
Procrastination, body
Roller coaster.
problems, crying a lot, jobs, all of the above.
Just the show called life.
Listen, I feel like I'm still in my first act. I hope I'm in my first act
Of life.
of life. Yeah. I mean,
That's a nice way to look at it.
yeah, I'm in my first act. I think it's like 30, 60, 90. No. Yeah, 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90.
So you're living to 90.
I mean, that's a fair number to go toward. And then anything after that's kind of gravy and extra, right?
Gravy. Yeah.
Gravy. Because 0 to 30
Human gravy.
is 0 to 30 is 0 dark 30 is your first third of life. So I'm definitely in my first. Oh God, I'm closing in on my first act.
Bitch, I'm 29.
Oh, you're really closing in. Your brain's finally fully formed.
Yeah, after, what is it, like 26?
No, it's 29 for men.
Oh,
It's 25 for women.
okay.
That's why I'm as smart as I'll ever be. And you still have some time to figure it out.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, no, now you're starting to fade. Well, this is why I'm
Start-
gay.
the right camera contact.
Over the hill.
This is why I'm gay. Yeah.
So this is why I'm gay with Kim and Kelly, starring Kim and Kelly. We're here. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm very excited.
I've gotten a lot of, don't talk about that yet. So,
Well, first off, we need to talk about some housekeeping, some live events happening now. It will be late, of course, but I don't care anymore. I don't care if they're dated. Beyonce just released her album yesterday, and it was fucking epic.
yes.
She slapped our pussies and twirled us around for an hour and 2 minutes.
Twirl us around.
Twirled us around.
Really is good. Like, just consistent.
That's okay. I'm just gonna move so you don't have to bend
Thank you.
so much. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a solidly good album.
I mean, the transitions alone are insane.
Yeah.
Like there's so much happening, and I feel excited listening to the whole thing.
So, when I was listening to the album, I got to Energy. And when I got to Energy,
You were like-
I said, the way that this album is flowing kind of reminds me of Khalees's album, Flesh Tone.
Oh, really?
And then, not a moment later, there was a sample of Khalees in Milkshake on that track. And then
shit.
I was told that Khalees is not credited for all of this, and she's like pissed.
I thought that Beyonce fully credited everyone.
She didn't credit Khalees. And like,
Hmm.
so you can kind of get away with that based on the sample, how much of it, all that stuff. Like, I think you're like safe legally, but also
Wow.
the ethics of that are really questionable.
Yeah,
and
totally.
You would think that Beyonce would respect somebody, especially somebody in the same wheelhouse genre as
That's
her.
upsetting.
Yeah.
upsetting.
There have been like a couple clips I've seen of Khalees talking about it, and yeah.
All right, Gayers. That's our. What are our fans' names?
Gayers.
TIWIGs.
I
don't like
like
saying that
Gayers.
aloud.
That's fucking
Gayers.
stupid. Come on, my Gayer.
Okay, anyone who's an intersection of the Beehive and the Gayers, go figure this out for us. What's going on?
Comment down below. Yes, if you agree.
Yes. Well, now we have video, so we can't say that. Comment down below if you're annoyed by us already.
Yeah. Said, go back to only audio. Y'all fucking suck.
I would love that because if you get haters, that means you're doing something right. That's
Yeah.
what I've heard.
Ugly, annoying, doesn't get to the point. 3 out of 5 stars.
Run on. Ugly. Well, anyways, This Is Why I'm Gay is really jam-packed today, full of good stuff. Let's start with, I want to hear our weekly obsession. Do we have anything else to cover before we get there? Is there anything else you want to update the girls on?
No, I'm good.
I'm good too. But watching a lot of good TV though. And we'll talk about it. I'm going to add a segment. I'm telling you right now on air. We're adding a segment where I just talk about what I've been watching.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of things to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So I need you to start because you've been itching about this for weeks.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
Itching and scratching.
All right. So, I think it was maybe a week or two ago, but this, it's worth talking about.
Okay.
I was at work, and I was like, man, I would really love to listen to Holes on audiobook. I really want a Holes audiobook right now.
Holes.
So, as somebody who doesn't have any type of audiobook subscription, I don't have Audible, none of that. Hey, sponsors.
Hey, Audacity. No, that's not it.
It's not Audacity, it's Audible.
Audible.
Yeah.
Audible.com. Your only source.
Gayer 20.
Gayer 20. Okay.
So I go onto YouTube. I look. Holes audiobook is what I type in.
Yes.
And maybe the second or third video I find is a teacher named Mrs. Navret, and she is reading the book aloud to her 3rd grade class.
Wow. Thank you, Mrs. Navret, if you're listening.
She's incredible. So I was like, oh, that's cute.
That's cute.
So I listened to the first video, and this was at the very beginning of the pandemic, and like you could tell because like she was still very hopeful, and like we don't know when this is gonna get
beaten down yet.
Not at all.
Okay.
So she was like, we're gonna read this book. I have some questions that you can answer, and then we can all discuss it.
Okay.
So I watched the first 2 where she just reads the book. Excellent reading voice. I'm invested. I'm having a nice time. And then the 3rd video is a video of her and her class reading the book.
Oh my
so
God.
They're not reading it. They're just listening to her, and they're like on video, and like they're waiting for everybody to get in. And like this one girl is talking about how her grandma passed away, and
So
she's
you
just
heard
like,
all their stories.
yeah, and like she's just so sweet and encouraging. She's like, I'm really sorry your grandma passed away, sweetie. And like just being really nice and like asking them about their weekend and like just the weather. And it was just really cute and sweet. And I was like, is this making me reconsider my opinion on children? I mean, like, I don't think it's cute or fun to be like, I hate kids. Yuck. Like, it's kind of a red flag. I mean,
Listen, I've actually changed my tune because I think you're right. I enjoy children. I just don't think I would have them.
sure.
And I am a child at heart, so I understand
Yeah.
children.
I was just saying the other day that you were
you're right.
basically a 12-year-old boy.
I'm a 12-year-old boy. Newsflash, yes.
Some cargo pants with the chain, the wallet chain.
I wanted one of those so bad as a kid with the Velcro wallet.
And you know those kids are like using them as a weapon at school. They're like spinning that shit.
Well, I remember they did a gender swap day at school, and
That's not what they called it.
they said like
They're like,
split flop or like
he she day, like something hateful.
something heinous. But all I know is I'm pretty sure they did a practical joke on me, and no one did it except for me. And I came to school as the only one dressed as a little boy. Isn't that so embarrassing, but kind of iconic at the same time?
That's like a villain origin story.
Yeah, but I actually loved it. Like I've never grown. I've already said this in an earlier episode, but I've always been a kid that never really took bullying seriously. Like I kind of just was in my own world for so long. I never really was affected by any negativity. I mean, once in a while when it was like close friends
Yeah.
turning on me or being mean to me, that was something. But like, no, I never like. someone said that, like, they were laughing at me, and I liked it. Like, I wanted the laughs. Like, it was the class clown, like, give it to me, give it. So, yeah, I wore the cargo pants. I wore the etnies.
Oh, okay. This must have been like sixth grade. Or
Gotta be fifth or sixth grade.
Yeah.
My brother was 13 at the time, right? So I had all of his clothes that I was wearing. I was wearing cargo shorts, one of his like t-shirt, like sleeveless t-shirts, and his visor. Yeah, it was really a look. And I drew a goatee on. It was a moment.
Wow.
I went for it. And they all laughed at me, and I loved it, and I didn't care.
Good.
So if anyone's listening out there from Mr. Cole's 5th grade class, you're a fucking asshole. How about that?
You got him.
You got me, gal.
So anyway, holes.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I was really excited to just listen to that tale again.
I've never read the book.
I read the book in 4th grade. It was great.
It's a good age.
Yeah. Love holes.
Dig it on, dig it. And of course, that's like I want to speak about that movie with you in a future episode.
Yeah.
Because
Sigourney Weaver
at the very just throughout the movie, she's popping my fucking pussy.
Yeah, and Patricia Arquette as Kissin' Kate Barlow, KB.
Oh man.
She was so hot in that.
Oh my fucking god, yes.
Hot teacher with an updo.
Turned back her villain origin story.
Yeah. The villain origin story that you're supposed to empathize with. Well, because they bait you with racism too. They're like,
right.
Also, that's a kid's book, and they broach topics. Like, they're like, hey, lynching.
That is the way to effectively teach children.
Yeah.
Is to go there when they're at the right age.
And honesty,
you know?
and like,
yeah.
This CRT. God. Anyways. It's critical race theory.
I know what the fuck it is. The fuck?
A concept that was introduced to me in college in specific classes. Wow.
What a concept going to school. Anyways, so what you're saying to me is your obsession is really the journey you went on with these kids.
Yeah, it was really cute. Thanks for guiding me back.
Yes, of course. So you finished the book, like you listened to the whole thing?
I listened to the whole thing.
How many classes did they have?
Like over Zoom. Mm-hmm. I watched at least 3 or 4, and the other ones were just videos of her reading the book.
Okay.
Also,
did she have a good reading voice?
She had a great reading voice.
Good.
During one of the classes, these kids was like running around his house and like talking to his parents and like not turning his mic off. And at the end, she was like, "I'm gonna need you to stay after her." And it was like kids were getting in trouble on Zoom.
She did not fuck around.
No, she was.
Was she stern but fair?
Yes, stern but fair, kind but earnest, and not babying them.
Yes. I love that. Aw.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Mrs. Navarrete.
Thank you, Mrs. Navarrete. You really, you helped another student without even knowing it.
Yeah. The first video has 19,000 views.
Oh, wait, so is there like a comment section where everyone's like, we stand?
I think it's turned off. I'm going to look right now.
That's fair. It's children.
Yeah, it is turned off.
That's fair. Because, I mean, like, the kids could just see that.
April 6th, 2020.
Wow, she was right there.
Truly at the jump.
What if there's a video of her this last year and she's like 30 years older, like just weathered from COVID? Like, you're going to read the book yourself. I am reading that shit.
All right. So there were 50 chapters of this book.
50 chapters?
They were pretty quick. They were pretty zippy.
I need to read the book now. Do you have it?
I don't have a physical copy. I mean, you could listen to Mrs. Navarrete.
Maybe I will. While I'm watering the plants for my one side job, I'll just throw on
my 1 of 5 side job.
1 of 5 side job. Yes, that's me. Well, that's amazing, Kelly. I love that one.
Thanks. It's just a stupid little ditty.
No, I like it.
Yeah, I had fun.
You were obsessed.
I really was. I wanted to read the book, watch the movie, absorb it all.
Did you watch the movie afterwards?
I sure did.
So how did you feel the comparison between the book and the movie? Do you think they did the movie justice?
I think it is a very good adaptation of that book. I think it is very accurate, and if they skip over anything, which it doesn't really seem like they did, like, it's solid.
Wow, good. Not many books can do that, or many movies can do that from books.
Yeah.
And I realized recently how many movies are books that you would never even know if you didn't read it already.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies. I actually have that book, and I need to start reading it. I'm going to bring it to the beach. It's the perfect beach book.
I was going to say, it's a very beach book.
And I know what's going to happen, so there's no, like, warning. Anyways, okay, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
So this week, I chose Mount Everest as my obsession.
Like the geographic location?
Yes.
Are you going to talk about all the dead bodies?
Yeah. So I have a morbid sense of curiosity for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it was, I can't remember what sparked it because, you know, there's always a spark.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to keep track of that from now on. Like, what was the first piece of
You're
information?
going to have a spark journal.
Oh, I know what that is, though.
Wouldn't that be cool?
What is it? Wait, what is it?
I just made that word up.
Oh,
Spark journal.
just for that. Yeah.
Just write down all your little...
The bullet journal tries to say that they're like that you can do it for anything.
Right.
Ideas or...
That's messy.
It's too much work. I don't want to draw in my lines.
Yeah, I want
the
like
lines.
a shitty little notepad.
No. You like a shitty little notepad?
Yeah, like that I keep right here in a pocket. Just, gotta get this
with your
down.
pen to flex?
Yeah.
Or sorry, your pocket protector.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, so I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I believe it was just, you know, like a Twitter post like, this many people have died on Everest this year.
Right.
And I was like, oh, because okay, this is my gay root connection here. Because at first I didn't have because I was, you know, it was just an obsession. But then I thought about it. I remember because when I was thinking about Everest that day, I saw the tweet and I was like, wow, people just like do that and pay so much money to go
climb a fucking mountain
and probably die.
Yeah.
Then I thought about it and I in my head had kind of a memory like I had been there. And I was like, why does this seem so familiar to me? Tell me why. Hold on. Tell me why I thought of Disney World and Animal Kingdom. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking about Expedition fucking Everest.
So this is my Everest.
This is my expedition. Because in my head, I was like, oh, I've been there before. No, I haven't. I've been to the ride.
You've been on a ride in Orlando, Florida.
Have you been to it, though?
No.
Surprisingly, they kind of immerse you.
Is it Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, it's Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
So you walk in, and it kind of immerses you in a Tibetan home.
Okay.
Like, and you start hearing...
Okay.
And it kind of sets the scene like you're in a Tibetan hut before you're about to...
Yeah. Make the final climb.
Make the climb.
Yeah.
So... that made me chuckle. I was like, wow, I really thought I had a memory, but it was Disney
a
World.
fabricated memory from an amusement park.
Created by Disney World.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm excited to learn more because I'm just fascinated. There's a lot of dark shit.
Oh, yeah.
On Everest. But before that, we're going to take a break.
Oh. Hey, you remember to...
I did. Look at me go. Yeah, we have to go to break or else we're not going to hear the rest of the story. So if you want to hear it, be back after this. We're talking about Expedition Everest on This Is Why I'm Gay with Kim and Kelly. Thank you for joining us, coming back after our first real break that we did correctly.
Yes.
So I was telling before the break that I thought I had been to Mount Everest, but I actually was thinking about Expedition Everest from Animal Kingdom.
When did you go?
Oh, God, that memory must have been when I was 10, when I had first gone.
Was this before or after the bullying incident?
This was...
You don't have to answer that.
This was after that bullying incident.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess it was around the same time. Maybe it was around the same. I have no memory.
Okay.
So I'm just, you know, I start to be morbidly curious about. Sorry, playing footsies under here. Look at the camera. Look at the people. You need to look at them once in a while and say hello.
Hey.
So I start to research and I realized how dark it was. Let me pull up some facts that I thought were very interesting that you might enjoy. I found a website called Everest's Dark Side. So we're talking about just the darkest. I just love learning about where people just die. Like it's fascinating.
Their bodies just give out and they collapse on the ground and they're left there.
So yeah, when you go up to Mount Everest, you go above what they call the death zone, which is 3,000. I think it's 8,000 feet or 3,000. I think it's 8,000 feet. And that's when the air pressure goes below the ability to breathe. So most people have to wear oxygen tanks, except for the Sherpas, who are like the Tibetan and Nepalese helpers that walk. That they traverse the mountain with you, so you have someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like you've gone maybe a deep dive, I can assume.
I've gone in the area.
looked.
It's been a while, but yes.
So that's the craziest thing. So when you go up, you're in an oxygen tank, you finally reach the summit, and a lot of times people don't die traversing getting up. It's once their adrenaline has released from getting to the top and relaxing on the top that when they come back down, their body just gives out.
Holy shit.
They just die on their way back instead of on their, like, I
Are
guess
these like older people?
no, it just depends on a million different things. How long you've acclimated properly to the area, because you have to be in Tibet or Nepal for 6 weeks or so to honestly even acclimate it all to any of the mountains.
I was about to say it's probably
altitude.
like scuba diving. Like you can't
Exactly.
ascend super quickly after being submerged for a long time because you get the bends.
Exactly. So there's different base camps, and it's just like a lot of craziness. And I just went down a deep hole. I just read all this shit, and I'm like, wow, there are over 210 bodies on Mount Everest right now.
200.
Because think about it, trying to get a helicopter up there, the wind would destroy it. They've tried a few times. There's been a couple of attempts and successes, like 1 or 2, but hardly
Isn't there
any
like
attempts.
one that is constantly used as like a marker? It's like blue boots or something.
Green boots.
Green boots.
So he's directly next to the path, and he's
Okay.
frozen solid. And this is the thing, they're perfectly frozen solid. Like they're basically
they're not
freeze-dried.
they're not decomposing. They're just popsicles.
In the 60s, when they started
Respectfully.
like commercially doing it for the first time, they found the body of someone from 1910 perfectly preserved.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So there's 210 bodies, and there's also one woman called Sleeping Beauty, because she's laying out like this, just taking a nap, just sleeping.
That would be such a weird experience to just be like, that's a dead body. That's a preserved dead body I'm walking past.
There's a lot more crazy shit because it's so big. A lot they say it
I want to see this picture.
they say the mountain hides itself. Yeah, look up the pictures of Sleeping Beauty and Green Boots and other people. It's really scary. Because a lot of them are just collapsed, like they just look like they fell over, and some of them just look like they're sleeping because they did go to sleep and they didn't wake up. Isn't that scary? What are you looking at?
Green boots.
Yeah, Green Boots. You don't see his face, but you can see a couple of people's faces if you look hard enough. And of course I did at work. I looked at all these things at work. But what's really scary is the mountain hides itself, which means you can't physically see the top of the mountain until you are only an hour away.
Damn.
So you're just walking up an endless mountain not knowing if you're even close. That's horrifying. And sometimes you have to wait like at a base camp, at the third base camp, which is like right before the death zone,
Right.
for days just to make sure it's safe to go up, because there's only a 6-week window the entire year.
That's like viable where you can.
Yes. And this year, they had another really scary thing is on the Tibet is very traditional, and they know like what is safe and what's not. But on the Nepali side, apparently, there's a lot of companies, because you spend sometimes close to $100,000 altogether to do this.
Oh my god.
Because you're paying for a permit, which is usually 10 grand. You're paying for all the equipment, which is thousands and thousands of dollars. You're paying for the travel. You're paying for expenses while you're there. You know,
All to almost die.
all to almost die.
Or die.
Exactly. And it's like, why are you doing this? A lot of people say it's for the glory, whatever, just to say, because it's there.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking stupid.
I have no desire. I mean, I guess that's just the variation of interest.
You
in
have to.
humans,
You have
but
to be. And what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So in Nepal, a lot of companies that host climbers, they're technically tourist companies, and they aren't as scrutinous with who they choose, so they allow a lot of people at one time to do it, and that ends up having a line to the summit. You're waiting behind 50 other people on a chain. People die on the chain just waiting
Holy shit.
because there's such a backup. You can't just sit still. You have to keep moving if you're not in your tent out of the wind. So more people died this year, I think, than any other year in the last like 30 years.
This year?
Yes.
How
Or
many?
2021, I think. I think it was like 20.
Oh my god.
Yes. I don't know. I have all these. I need to pull up these things when I'm doing this, but like, yeah, it's crazy. And apparently, like, there's debris. Like, Just think about it. You're so high up. The wind's just, if you don't go in that 6-week period, the wind goes like 200 miles an hour. You physically can't even do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, all that to say, I went down a deep hole and I'm on the search for, I haven't been able to find one that I really want to watch, but I think I did recently called Everest, the largest graveyard in the world.
Hell yeah.
I really want to watch like a dark, depressing fucking documentary.
Just a trudge up to Mount Everest.
Because I'm just like, yeah, why would the fuck would you do that? Why in the absolute fuck would you do that?
I don't know.
I do like to hike, but not like that. I wouldn't want to hike in the snow.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I barely want to hike at all.
Because people aren't enjoying, like, it's not an they're not enjoying themselves. They're just doing it to see if they can.
And spending a lot of fucking money in the process.
A lot of money. Because, they say it's close to, like, 3 months that the whole journey is, because you're waiting a lot for the right, because if the conditions aren't right, you shouldn't even make the summit.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. So, I don't know, if you've climbed Mount Everest...
Comment yes below if you agree.
Yes below. Would you ever do any of the, like, less intense ones?
Would I do a less intense hike?
Like one that's in the 11 highest peaks in the world?
No.
You wouldn't do it if you had to put on a fucking oxygen mask.
I get 6 feet off the ground and I get scared. I don't like heights. Yeah, and whenever I get to the top of anything that has like a precipice, I'm just like,
go right back down.
I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump off.
Well, that's your id talking.
Yeah, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to jump off something. But like your brain is like, you should fucking jump.
Did you take Psychology 101 like I did in high school?
Yeah, I guess.
Because I did, and all I know is there's 3 parts of your brain. The id, the ego, and the superego.
Oh.
So the id's like you're a caveman. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to eat and sleep and
so my
drink.
Caveman wants to jump?
Your instinct, like, it's like the dark side of you. And then your ego is like your morality and like your humanity. And then your superego is the thing that's holding it all down and presenting to the world. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just got so distracted by your necklace from the Joan Rivers collection.
Yeah. So my necklace is from the Joan Rivers collection.
He said...
It's one of my favorite necklaces. I actually do want to talk about this. It's like this enamel little metal heart, and it's got these really cute lavender, green, and turquoise flowers on it. And I love to wear it in the summer. It's my sherbet base, so I wear it with like oranges or limes or lemons.
Is that your drag name?
Yes, or honeydew, like my new Crocs that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very important. Very important piece to my jewelry set. I've had this since I was, 10 years old. I got it from my aunt.
Joan Rivers collection.
The Joan Rivers collection. I always want to say Betsy Johnson, but it's Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers is way funnier.
You know what's crazy? I actually think I've decided now this is like my lucky necklace for comedy.
Why?
Because Joan Rivers was such an amazing comedian.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I have to wear this to channel her.
I thought you meant like something lucky happened, so you were just going to like keep the ball rolling or something.
Well, I do feel lucky being here with you.
Oh, gross.
All right, that's week. Do you have any other? Oh, and before we go to the next segment, I do want to talk about some shows I've been watching because I have been kind of obsessed with them.
Okay.
This is just, we need to keep up. There's a lot of things to talk about.
Okay.
So, because recently I've decided I'm not going to be.
Sorry, I was just getting all this. I was stepping on it.
I've decided recently I only want to actively watch television and movies. I don't.
No more passive watching. No more crochet.
No more cross stitch for me, but no more passive watching.
It was a C.
I mean, cross stitch when I'm like watching a comfort show and I want to cross stitch, I'll have something on in the background. But if I'm trying to watch something, I will not touch my phone.
Active watching.
Because what are we doing? I feel like I'm a robot when I have all these things happening at once. I'm like, I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just like stimulating my ever depressed brain.
I think I saw a tweet a while back that was like, why do I think now that watching TV without touching my phone is like a healthy thing to do?
Isn't that depressing? It's a little depressing, I think.
Like we're so distracted all the time that we can't do something that was previously considered a leisurely and lazy activity.
Exactly. So I'm trying to go back there because that's really scary to me. I can't live that. We've gone too far into the electronic wormhole. I need to pull myself out.
Okay.
So with all that being said, I've been just watching things that I've been wanting to watch and like are good quality in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I watched Pam and Tommy recently.
The Hulu show?
Yes.
Okay.
It actually fucking slapped. Lily James slapped my pussy.
Was she Pam?
I thought it was Pam. Like certain points, she really fully embodied her. He gave her prosthetic titties. I don't know how they did it. It looked fucking flawless. She got teeth and lips and those eyebrows, of course. It was just so impressive. And the way she did the voice, when she turned certain ways, I was like, that's Pam Anderson. Like, It was kind of insane. Now, the guy who played Tommy Lee, I mean, you know, he's a white guy. Yeah, he's a white guy.
It's not about him.
It's not about him. I never knew about that scandal. I never knew, like, what actually went down, how the guy, like, stole do you know what happened?
Vaguely.
Carpenter works on their house.
Uh-huh.
Tommy Lee's an asshole to him and fires him for no reason.
Okay.
He owes him, like, $9,000. And doesn't give it to him. And then when he tries to come back for his tools that he left, he's like, this is collateral for doing such a shitty job. Fuck you. So the guy's like trying to be a Buddhist. And this is Seth Rogen, mind you.
Okay.
Which he actually did a good job, but I was like, Seth Rogen just unfortunately is so typecast. I just only see Seth Rogen now.
Yeah.
But anyways, so to get back at this is a true story. To get back at them, he goes and steals their safe from the garage. And in the in the tape is the sex tape.
Okay.
And so he watches it and he's like, oh, this is karma for them being assholes. But what he doesn't realize is like Pam Anderson did nothing to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, something that I have not researched any of this or like looked into it because I don't know, it didn't really strike my fancy. But I heard that Pam Anderson was not consulted on any of this show, and it was kind of made without her input or anything, which is a little...
I know, and I did hear that, and she wasn't happy about it, but I just wanted to watch it for I really do love biopics.
Yeah.
And I love seeing how people interpret people. So I think it was mostly me as like an actor watching.
Sure, seeing somebody do like a character study.
Right. But it was really unfortunate that's the case because in the show, like Pam was in power the whole time and she
a sympathetic character.
Yeah, it was never like she did anything wrong. She was a victim of this horrible thing.
Yeah.
So I understand she wasn't consulted, but I will say like I believe it to be fairly accurate to what the intimate parts between the two of them, who knows, because Pam wasn't consulted.
Yeah.
Do you know who Tommy Lee is married to now?
Who?
First of all, he's like 57 years old or like almost 60.
Okay.
He is married. I'm sorry, this is just like, when I found this out, I actually gasped because I was like, this is so fucking weird. Brittany Furlong.
Who?
Look her up. She's a Vine star that has wiener dogs.
Furlan?
Yeah.
I don't know who this is.
Look at her before all of the plastic surgery. Because she looks like a faceless mannequin now. But before she looked like Brittany. I'm sorry, but all these bitches in Hollywood are getting the same plastic surgery. They all look the same. You've never seen this bitch before on Vine?
Never in my life.
Where like she eats her dog's mouth like, oh.
Nope.
Anyways, so fucking random. She's 26 years younger than him.
Okay.
And like all for it, but it just is the most random pairing that I would never have ever like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, besides that, I watched Betty and Joan feud.
The duet.
The duet.
They sing at the end.
I love that Ryan Murphy only does it. He's like, I will only do anthologies no matter what from now on. He will not do anything else. I loved it. I mean, Susan Sarandon fucking slayed as Betty Davis.
Yeah, from what I saw, I was impressed.
But we agree that Jessica Lange is too big of a star to be playing Joan
She's
Crawford.
too much of a character actress.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
so you only see Jessica.
Yeah,
You don't really see Joan Crawford. I mean, at some points, like her attitude, but we all know who did Joan Crawford the best.
Yes.
Don't fuck with me, fellas.
Yeah, that one.
I fought worse men like you than for years in Hollywood. I don't know the words.
I fought worse monsters.
Worse monsters like you for years in Hollywood.
Yeah, that was a night. That was almost there. It was like 82%.
So yeah, Faye Resnick really no.
Faye Dunaway. Her name is Faye Dunaway. The morally corrupt Faye Resnick.
Oh my god.
We need to stay back on this podcast. We need to get you back on the ball, girlie.
Sorry. So I'm watching those, and I'm watching Barry right now, which I really like with Bill Hader.
Oh yeah.
I really like it. Have you never heard of it?
No, I don't care. I mean, I've seen I've passed it.
I don't care.
I don't care about men. I don't give a shit about men.
I know, but it's about acting. I think that's why it's like acting class.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. What have you been watching? I mean, we've been watching BH, and that fucking sucks ass.
The Discovery Plus original series, Conjuring Kesha.
What?
It's a supernatural reality show with Kesha as the host. Kesha Seabird.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, not at all.
Wait, I need to get on Discovery Plus and watch that, and we need to watch The Real Housewives of Cheshire.
Yes, it's good. It's fucking good. But Conjuring Kesha,
that sounds incredible.
The first episode, they go to this abandoned prison in Tennessee.
Okay.
And every episode, she has like a friend, and the first friend, Whitney Cummings. So it's her and Whitney Cummings in a prison together, and the woman, there's a woman who used to work there. She worked there for 20 years, and she was like, oh yeah, I'll show you around. So they go inside the prison, and they're walking around, and then this little old country woman walks down, and she goes, hello. It's it's amazing.
What? That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. What the most abstract of thoughts, but it happened, and it's amazing.
Conjuring Kesha.
With the K? K,
no,
Conjuring Kesha.
It's just a C. She's not a Kardashian.
Right.
She's not a Kardashian, dude.
Which, I don't even want to talk about that, but they're just so disgusting. They can make me angry every single day.
They're maybe fixing Instagram, so they get that one brownie point.
What are they doing?
Maybe fixing Instagram.
What are they fixing?
Their fake outrage at the attempt to make it more like TikTok.
Oh.
And I mean, when you think about it, the Kardashians are an entirely photographed still life sort of...
They don't like videos.
They have a still life presence. They're not they're not talking about HelloFresh in a video. They take a picture.
Which HelloFresh, if you'd like to sponsor us? HelloFresh.
We're gonna just badger all of the potential sponsors.
Yes. Wow, I need to see that. That sounds epic, and I would love. I've never seen Kesha talk in conversation with friends, so I would love to see that.
I've also been watching The Rehearsal, which is fantastic.
Is it good?
I love it.
I was funny. Never a huge Nathan For You fan.
Oh, well, then you're not going to like this.
I just don't like him. But I think he's unlikable on purpose, right?
He's supposed to be just generally off-putting, but I think the appeal of this show is the general gusto and, thrust of what's going on. It's
okay.
The bigger picture, and he's just a piece of it.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back with This Is Why I'm Gay with Kim and Kelly. Hey, Kelly.
Hey.
Hey.
Kim.
So we're here, we're queer, we're Buccaneers, and we're about to talk about our gay root of the week. Okay, so this one's, I think, the first one that we've done that's not a childhood gay root.
Yeah, this is a newly established sapling, if you will.
A sapling. Listen, it's one of the most important discoveries I've made in the last 2 years.
It's something that I wish I had seen.
Oh my God.
Before now.
I mean, just to know that I've seen it more is mostly why, because it's just so good. I've seen it now, I think 4 times in the last 8 months.
Yeah.
Oh, someone just called me a bitch on Instagram.
Really?
It's fine. No, it's someone I know. I'm just kidding. I would love if it was a stranger. Oh my God, that'd be so fucking funny.
Someone just called me a bitch on Instagram.
Anyway, so we are talking about The Sweetest Thing.
Yes.
One of the most important movies to ever exist, really, in my opinion.
It's really good. I mean,
if you're looking for a mid-budget comedy that is raunchy, silly, fun, for the girlies.
Yeah.
this is it. Like, so the story starts with me, with my mom. I visited her in October of last year, I think for like an early birthday celebration for her. And we were just hanging out one night and we didn't want to go out and drink. So we were like, let's just watch a movie. And she was trying to help me. You know, I'm really picky with movies, like picking out a movie, as I'm sure you know. Anyone that's been around me while I try to pick a movie to watch, it's very painful. I'm so sorry, but I'm picky. What can I say? It's a very bad habit. I'm trying to break it. So we were looking and we were on Netflix and I was like, Netflix has garbage. Like, I don't want to go on Netflix. Like, there's nothing good. And she said, oh, The Sweetest Thing. I was like, what? I never, ever heard of it in my entire life. Have you ever heard of it?
I'd heard the name, but I think I was thinking it was a movie with Christina Ricci for some reason.
Okay.
What movie is that?
That is Mermaids, right? Mermaids is the one with Cher, Christina Ricci, and the bitch from Beetlejuice and Stranger Things.
Winona Ryder?
Yeah. Which, that movie was okay. I watched it recently. It was okay. Well, don't get off on that tangent. No one gives a shit about Christina Ricci in this context. In this context. So The Sweetest Thing is a movie from 2002. It's rated R. I have all the specs here so we don't have to question anything. It's direct. I know.
Rated R.
20 years after it was released, I discovered it. Well, 19.
You know what I'm thinking about?
What?
Okay, so I feel like this movie could have been within the wheelhouse of things that I would have liked, but I think the R rating kept me away from it. You know, like PG-13 comedies and rom-coms, like my friends and I could see around this time. You know?
Right.
But
how old are you in 2002? 18? Wait.
2002?
Oh, sorry, 8. 7 or 8?
That's probably 9 or 10.
Oh, 9. You were 9 because you're turning 30 this year. No, you've already... you were 8. No, you were 9. If it came out after April.
I don't fucking know.
So you weren't watching an R-rated movie?
No.
Now, I really do believe this would have been PG-13 without the one scene, the song.
There's a couple.
Yeah, you're right. There is a couple of explicitly sexual situations.
There's a dick in the movie.
There's a dick in the movie. Okay, so I found out that the whole song that we'll talk about in a minute wasn't in the, like, it's only in the uncut.
Oh.
Like extra, like unrated version.
It was my favorite scene.
It's an incredible scene.
Yeah.
Or no, I think you're right. I think it's seeing the penis is what they cut out.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look that. When I read penis scene, I thought they meant that, but I think they're talking about that. So we'll get there. Anyways, this movie is directed by Roger Cumble. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it's Cumble.
Because that's his last name.
That's his name.
Don't disrespect him like that.
Stars Cameron Diaz, Christina Applegate, Selma Blair. The guy's name's Thomas Jane. I had never seen this guy before. Had you ever seen him?
He looked vaguely familiar, but who cares?
Who cares about him?
This movie is not about him.
And then Jennifer Jimenez, who is actually Brandy Glanville's friend from 10 years ago. She's randomly in a scene. So we stand. And then a surprise cameo by Parker Posey.
Yes.
An incredible cameo. Like,
an impactful one.
She was in it for 5 minutes and she gave it to us.
And you could tell she was improv. Like,
100%.
They were like, hey, you want to come just like hang out and do this movie? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
With Christina and Cameron? Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I don't know how girly
I look
they all
beautiful.
were. I look beautiful. So the synopsis, if you've never seen it, first of all, if you're listening to our podcast and you haven't watched the thing we're talking about, you should probably go watch it first.
You should watch it, but if you just want to hear us be stupid,
yeah, I mean,
that'll work
you
too.
do it either way, but it's more impactful if you listen or watch the content we're talking about.
Do what makes the most sense to you.
I personally believe our taste factor is like through the roof. So anything we think is good, I feel like you might think is good. Is that a little bit of a reach?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I just have I have a sickness inside that makes me think that what I believe.
That you're God.
That I know all. Maybe I know it all.
Maybe.
Like Bethany Frankel says. Maybe I know it all. Anyways. So the synopsis is Christina Walters spent years avoiding men, then suddenly met her perfect match while hanging out with her best friends Courtney and Jane. When she finds out that he has left town, she and Courtney set out on a trip. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I got from the web. This movie, it centers around this. She goes to a bar with her friends. She's being a girl, like they're just girlying. The whole movie is just filled with these fun, just fancy free, amazing moments. Like just the girliness, the carefree bitches. Like they're living the dirty, raunchy nature of it all is just so, you never see that in female-led comedies. Ever.
Yeah, and I really like I'd like to call it like Coyote Ugly syndrome, where you're like, I remember this movie in the way that I remember it, which is usually forgetting about the romantic subplot.
Oh, no question. Coyote Ugly's romantic section is so fucking annoying.
And it's also a lot of the fucking movie.
It's like half the movie. If you haven't listened to our podcast episode about that, go back. It's incredible. But yeah, we talked about that for a while. We're like, this is unnecessary. Just like in this movie, the whole romantic part. I mean, that's the whole point of them going on this trip.
They needed something.
They needed something to spring. And that's the thing. I love a good road trip in a movie. It's always so silly. And for me in the movie, it falls off after they get back.
100%.
And we've talked about this. We're going to talk about it a little bit here. So, the crux of the movie is about their friendship. Yeah. These three women's friendship, how it's so unwavering. They've got each other in the corner. Like, they know what's best for them. It's just a beautiful example of friendship that you really haven't seen in many other movies.
This is also an early movie for, like, women and friends talking about sex this way.
Totally.
Like, it felt pretty modern, and I was like, this is 2002, so, like, yeah, this might have been happening, but like...
It was just at the beginning, I believe.
For this type of movie, this budget, like, I think that's pretty groundbreaking.
Absolutely. And just, honestly, something about San Francisco. San Francisco has some good movies.
Yeah.
Princess Diaries. One of my favorite movies. Have we talked about that in the pod?
My eye just twitched when you started talking about Princess Diaries.
Have we talked about that in the pod?
No.
Oh, that's got to be an episode. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Also, another one, we got to talk about Devil Wears Prada.
Okay.
So important for me. Anne Hathaway just did it for me back in 2005.
You know what The Princess Diaries did for me?
What?
Corn dogs.
You'll never not think about it like that.
Anytime I want to eat a corn dog, I'm like, damn.
Do they eat a corn dog or a hot dog?
They eat a corn dog. It is a corn dog, and she puts the mustard on it like this.
And I remember when she wipes the hand off of the.
Uh-huh.
We're not talking about. Wait.
Okay, you're Julian. Oh, and then she cheats. She uses both hands, and she goes.
That's for another day. We're gonna talk in full. That's gonna be like a 3-hour episode. But anyways, this movie, you guys, it's just something about the way that they play with each other. Like, you could just tell the actresses were having so much fun on set. Just, I bet you a lot of it was improv, like all of the goofiness.
Christina Applegate was, I think she was honestly the gem of this movie.
Oh my God.
Cameron Diaz was great, whatever.
Selma Blair was silly and quirky like she always is.
Yeah, but Selma Blair didn't have as much, like, screen time.
Yeah, she was honestly a lesser character, which I wasn't really sure
She was the peripheral character, but it was definitely about Cameron Diaz and
Courtney and Christina. Christina Applegate blew me away. I've never seen her like this. She was sexy. She didn't give a fuck. The way that they just, like, were carefree about who they were and, like,
and we're really sweet with each other.
There's some scenes we're going to talk about, but I just love the way that they play, like the way that they mess with each other. Like, it's one of the most incredible depictions of, like, an actual friend, like a real friend that you can feel the nuances and, like, the history with.
I also like that they were just fucking gross the whole movie.
Oh my God. So let's get into some of the scenes because, and obviously I usually bring up a childhood memory with our roots, but there's no childhood memory here.
I just want to talk about this movie, and I also want to talk about the fact that we've watched this movie twice together.
We have watched it twice together because it's that good.
And I had fun both times.
Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, the best scenes in the movie are on the road trip, but we got to talk about the scenes before the road trip, which are so important. First of all, the first scene with all of them together is one of my favorites. Just them seeing each other on the street. They're listening to the same song somehow in their like cassette tapes, and they're just like weirdly dancing up the hill in their like professional garb. It's so fucking incredible. Like it just sets the mood. It fully sets the mood. They're just being silly girlies.
Silly girlies.
Like just silly. I just can't get over the word girl. Like it's just how I feel. Like the girlies. Like yes, girlies.
What does girlies mean to you?
Wow, this is like a Miss America question.
Yeah. All right.
So girlies is just the epitome of carefree joy between girlfriends.
Okay.
Like the definition of this word to me is the way that they experience each other in this movie.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it other than that.
There's
could you help me?
A carefree joyousness and love in every interaction. Even if it's playful or difficult, it is still, there's like an air of like solidarity and understanding and kindness and love.
Yep.
And it's also like, we're going to have fucking fun and turn up.
Yes. Exactly.
It's all encompassing. Girly is all encompassing.
Girly is the one in the club going like, yes.
I heard your elbow pop in my microphone. Like I heard it in the playback. You gotta get that checked out.
Is that bad?
I don't know. Maybe you're just a little crackly. It's
a little
fine.
Crackly. But yeah, it's just like when you're in the club, like, yes, bitch, slay. And your purse is whipping around. I just love it. So that first scene just sets off the tone perfectly.
Yes.
I love it. The next scene I really love is obviously the penis song. Do we miss something?
Before we get to the penis
you need
song,
to keep me on track with the timeline because I always mess up timelines in movies.
One of my favorite scenes, Summer Blair at the dry cleaner.
Is that before the penis song?
She gets to the dinner or the lunch like late because she's going to the dry cleaner and then they meet up at lunch.
Right. That scene is so stupid and I love it.
That level of comedy is something that I like because they were writing that scene and they're like, okay, what if we do this? And then everybody probably just kept
and what if we did that? And what if we did this? And what if we did that?
The context of the scene, Selma Blair's character borrowed a blouse or a dress.
I think it was a dress.
I think it was a dress. Who wears a blouse? Who could come on a blouse?
They were the little like tube dresses. At this time.
It was a sexy little slip. Christina Applegate lent it to her, and she was gonna give it back to her, but she needs to take it to the dry cleaner because there's a big cum stain on it.
See, I would have gone to the dry cleaner before even meeting up with the girlies.
She was taking a risk.
She had the bag in her hand, and they were like, "What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing." Pull it out.
Was it in a brown bag?
It was in like a Bloomingdale's brown bag or some shit.
Okay.
Which is so weird. So she proceeds to go to the dry cleaner where her priest shows up from childhood, her childhood teacher with a bunch of kids on a field trip.
And the dry cleaner like knows her very personally.
Her. Yeah, I'm like, this is just the silliest of silly, but I'm buying it.
And like... It just keeps going. He
scratches the cum. He sniffs it. He licks it a little bit.
Yeah.
Whew.
It really was just like a fever dream of bad, embarrassing things. Like, and it just kept building.
Yep.
And I, for one, think that's fucking hysterical.
I was just watching a show where that scene I think was recreated.
Really?
Yeah, someone brought like a blanket, and it was a woman dry cleaner and a man giving it to her, and she was like, oh, what's this? Oh, I know what this is. Like some shit. And I was like, whoa, this is like flashback to
the movie I just watched.
Have you ever had to bring in a cum-stained thing to the dry cleaner?
No.
I don't dry clean.
Yeah, I don't. I'm too poor for that.
Who dry cleans?
I don't have a lovely satin blouse that I really need to get dry clean.
At all. So that's one of the best things. And then, of course, we have to talk about the penis song.
The penis song.
Your penis is so... hard. Your penis is so long. Your penis is so big. I don't know what the other ones are. If you don't know,
did they say penis? Or did they say dick?
No, your penis.
Okay.
And it's like your penis is a movie, and your body is a movie, and your penis is the star. So they proceed to start doing a full-fledged musical act, like out of context. Obviously, it's just nonsensical, about penises. And the whole Chinese restaurant they're in just starts going crazy and singing along to it. It's hysterical and stupid. Who does that anymore?
Can I read some of these lyrics?
Yes, please. Please read the lyrics.
You're too big to fit in here.
Too big to fit in.
Too big to fit in here.
Penis.
big to
Vagina,
fit in
penis,
here.
ass. Yeah.
What a lovely ride. Your penis is a thrill.
Yep.
Your penis is a Cadillac. A giant coupe de ville.
Yep.
Your penis packs a wallop. Your penis brings a load. And when it makes a delivery, it needs its own zip code. 900 penis. Repeat chorus.
Too big to fit in here. Too big to fit. Yeah, so they go on for a good 5 minutes.
I found it. Your penis is so hard. Your penis is so large. My body is a movie, and your penis is the star, starring your penis.
Starring your penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like obviously unexpected and so incredible.
So it's one thing to understand this happening without much context, to be like, oh, a penis song in a comedy movie in the 2000s. Wow, that's amazing. I love that.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah. So in a vacuum, that is okay. But they're doing this in a Chinese restaurant, and it's an entire production. Everybody in the restaurant gets up. Like
It's like a flash mob.
Yeah, it was like choreographed.
They had old ladies, they had goths, they had
It was over the top.
patrons. Yeah.
I was going to say patriots.
They had patriots.
They had Civil War reenactors.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, really over the top scene, and the fact that it was over the top is what made it fucking hysterical.
Oh my God. Just insane. Insane.
Yes.
So the story really takes a turn when she meets this guy and at a club, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care.
Let's talk about this club for a second.
The club was so bright.
Okay.
It looked like they had fluorescent lights on everywhere.
I have never understood this or really even thought about it until this movie, but do you ever see a club scene in a movie and you're like, why does this look like a fucking department store?
It's so bright.
Fluorescent lights, drop tile ceilings, like close to the ground.
It was very strange.
There was a waterbed, and they were walking on it in their heels. And I was like, it's going to pop. It's going to pop, and there's going to be water all over the dance floor.
And most people weren't that hot. There weren't a lot of hot people around. So
Christina Applegate and Cameron Diaz.
hottest.
The hottest one. And Selma Blair.
She's book smart. Book hot.
Book hot. Book hot.
Librarian
books,
hot.
Places where you historically don't see people. Book hot. That's the meanest thing I've ever heard.
That is not true. She just gives off like bookworm girly.
Yeah, she gives
She's beautiful, but she gives off like librarian chic.
she was in Legally Blonde, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a bitch.
She's basically like a different variation of that character.
Yeah, but more fun in this.
Oh yeah, like fun, enjoyable, a good character, not like a villain, not an antagonist.
Right.
But she feels like the same kind of character.
Right. Exactly. Bless you. Woo! So the whole crux of the movie is the fact that she meets this guy. She hears about him going to a wedding in this small town of, what was it again? It was like some North California.
Clue.
What, it doesn't matter. And basically she wakes up the next morning regretting not seeing him. So Christina Applegate, they're hanging out at one point the next day, and she's like,
Let's go, bitch.
let's go.
Yeah.
Because Cameron Diaz was like, oh, like I would, but I'm not going to do that.
And she's lying to herself.
But she's lying. She actually wants
and her girly can see through the facade and understand implicitly
yes.
that she wants to see where it can go with this man.
And then they set out on a trip, and we're going to take a break.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we're back here on This Is Why I'm Gay with Kim and Kelly. I'm Kim.
I'm Kelly.
And we're talking about The Sweetest Thing, an amazing fucking movie. And if you haven't fucking seen it, I'd recommend go watching it. So we're talking about the whole reason they're going on this trip. They just decided, because Christina Applegate's like, no, you said it over dinner that you want to go. And she's like, I was just kidding. She's like, no, I know you wanted to fucking go. Yeah. And that's why I love this bitch. She's a real fucking friend. It may have been a little crazy for them to drive to a wedding of a man they don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? They've got money to throw around. She's a lawyer. She's a fashion consultant. Like,
where did you get that information?
Well, they talk about it a little bit in the movie. So Christina
don't remember
Applegate's like, how are the cases? Like, oh, the clients are shitty and the prosecution, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, she's a lawyer. And then they bring up something about Cameron Diaz's like new fashion company she's working for. So we have an idea. And then Selma Blair works in a department store.
Yeah. It's not important.
It's not important. But it is. That's why Christina Applegate's wearing the like power suits.
Yeah.
So they start out on the trip. This is one of the best road trips in a movie I've ever seen. In every single scene is hysterical,
and it's so stupid.
Let's just start.
I mean that in a good way.
So we start off, and she's like, "I smell like some shit in your car. I smell something shitty in your car." They look around. They find an old swan tinfoil.
Take out tinfoil origami swan.
Right, like the classic stupid thing you'd see in a movie.
Yes.
She opens it up. It's got maggots in it. So they're like, ah! She throws it out the window. Why does it then cut to the bird flying in air and then rams into their car?
Yes.
Like on the windshield. So stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb.
So then they proceed to stop at a truck stop where they go to the bathroom. And they're in the bathroom. Christina Applegate proceeds to piss in a urinal. And this bathroom is like, they really played it up. It is the dirtiest, most disgusting.
Brown everywhere.
Brown, just full of like silt and dirt and shit.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And it's the men's bathroom because because they couldn't go to the women's bathroom because the woman's like, I gotta level with you. I'm shitting out a Buick. So they're like, well, we gotta go to the men's bathroom. So they go in the men's bathroom, and Cameron
I'm gonna start saying that when anybody knocks on the
like.
What do you? Okay, unrelated. What do you say when somebody knocks on a bathroom door? Like, what do you say?
That's a good question.
What do you think people should say?
I switch between taken or occupado. No, I don't say that.
I gotta level with you. I'm shitting out a Buick. I think you should say that next time.
I'm definitely going. They would just start laughing hysterically. Wouldn't that be incredible?
No, it's just entire silence. You don't even hear them walk away.
I have a funny story to tell you about farting in just a second once the scene's over. So, she goes into the bathroom. Cameron Diaz, Christina Applegate's pissing in a urinal. Cameron Diaz goes into the bathroom and she notices there's a hole
in the wall.
Yeah, it's not a proper glory hole because a glory hole would be to the
stall
next
to stall.
Stall
to stall.
So there's a hole in the wall, and she sees like a yellow brick road guiding her, like drawn on, and she like uses her fingers. She's like, "What's this?" And it's like a dog's face with a hole in the middle, and she's like, "Oh!" She puts her eye too close. A penis sticks her in the eye.
I want to know where the penis came from.
The penis is in the wall. Where did it come from?
The penis is outside the building?
Right.
Your dick wouldn't be able to go all the way through that and still be serviceable?
Obviously there were no gays and DL men on this.
No.
They had no idea what it was or how it would work. They just said, there's a hole in the wall.
You put your penis in this thing.
You put your penis in it.
Yeah. I don't know why they're from Brooklyn.
Her eye gets broke simultaneously. Christina Applegate can't turn off the water, like flush the toilet. So then it breaks off and shoots her with like so much water.
The power, like the water pressure of like a fire extinguisher.
No, like fully a fire hose. And they both like, not stupidly.
A fire hydrant, not a fire extinguisher. You fucking idiot. Me.
Did you say fire extinguisher?
I said fire
I fully
extinguisher.
heard it and was like, yes.
You said yes.
Yes.
Yes, always.
So they're getting soaked, obviously, because it's like comedy, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, we're getting some physical comedy in this section.
They then proceed to rip off their clothes in their car because they're just soaking wet. Then the Pina Colada song comes on, and they're like, Spring Break, 1985, and they start singing, and that is an example of the girlies, like just being so silly and hearing the song and just singing along because they remember it from their college years, like. And
it's laundry day, so they both have on like.
Got my skanky panties on.
Ugly granny panties.
Well, Christina Applegate goes, dude, and she pulls up her dress and it's boxer briefs. Wait, and I forgot to mention the best part of the whole movie. When they're in the bathroom, Christina Applegate's like, oh, there's a bug on you. And she starts like tickling her. But then she just makes this chuckle. Like, ha 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 ha. Like the most natural, goofy, like it brings me joy when I watch her act. Like it was the most organic, silly moment. I loved it. Like it just made me so happy. And I want to be an actor like that. Like I want to do stuff like that. Because I just feel like there's not enough improv in comedies, and there should be, but it's because there's not enough good people like that can riff off of one another, you know? But when you can, like I know that wasn't written in the script.
Yeah.
You know? Well, maybe like the tickling was, but the way she responded was so silly, and I loved it. Anyways, so they're singing the Pina Colada song, screaming it, and Christina's like, you know, like pina coladas, or getting caught in the rain. Like she's just acting her ass off.
Chewing the scenery.
I've never seen a bitch act as stupid and silly as she did. Like even Bridesmaids can't hold the candles with this acting right now. She's giving comedy gold. Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm living. And then they're like, plane, and they're like, Jane. They like hear a word that sounds like Jane, and then it cues them to call Jane at her job and just scream her, Jane, if you like pina. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's just like the girlies. The girlies are girlying again. So in the next scene, they go to the small town that they're supposed to be in, and they get a change of clothes. And they look stupid. And it's that one where it's like, hi, my name is this woman, and I play all of these parts.
That's actually a really good impression of that woman. I'm honestly impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I am an actor. But I mean, that's really where it kind of comes to a close for me.
I really like the fake head that she was performing for the motorcyclist.
Oh, the gooning motorcyclist.
Yeah.
So we forgot about that part. At one point, they're driving in the car, and this is after they've been sprayed. This is the part I was thinking there was one more part before they got to the town.
Yeah,
but they're in their undies, driving on the road, trying to dry out, and they go onto this one part of the highway, and this really creepy motorcyclist like comes up behind him.
Hey, baby!
And Cameron Diaz has gone down below, looking like she's giving a blowjob to Christina Applegate.
Which I don't know much about
really do that
vaginas,
as a lesbian.
but
that's
the
not
logistics of
you can only finger
licking and or
there is no logistics. It doesn't work.
Yeah. You said I've tried. No.
I mean, just think about it.
Yeah.
The pussy hole's like on the seat. There's no like there's no apparatus to suck.
The pussy hole is on the seat.
Duh! Like who doesn't know that? So he starts seeing that. He's like, I'm so like gooning for this shit. And Christina Applegate sees it and she starts playing it up. She's like, oh yeah. And Cameron Diaz is like, honey, I can't. The reason she goes down is she's trying to find the lid to her
lip gloss,
like the body of the lip gloss, because she's got the lip gloss and then the actual
applicator.
The applicator's in her hand, but the bottle's at the bottom.
Yes.
She's trying to find it, and he's like, it's like Tasmanian devil creepy.
Yeah.
And then he crashes, and it was just so stupid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because Christina Applegate leaned into it to be an idiot. And that was fun.
Yes.
For me and everybody else. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are my favorite scenes. I mean, the rest of the movie consists of them. They get to the wedding, but we can't forget about Parker Posey. So the bride, who we haven't seen this whole time, and this whole time we believe that this man's brother is getting married, and the whole twist of the movie, sorry, spoilers, the whole twist of the movie is he ends up being the one that's getting married, the guy that she's in love with, and she realizes that, like, when they say his name, like, do you... Jake or whatever his name. What is his name?
Peter or Roger. I don't fucking know.
Do you Peter to? And she's like, what? And the scene with Parker Posey, that was so funny because they like stuck in, I guess, the priest's quarters where she's getting ready to like go out there, and she's like, I can't get married, and they talk her into it. And I don't know, this one part where she improv, she's like, you do it. I look beautiful.
I look beautiful. I look beautiful. I look beautiful.
I look beautiful.
I look beautiful.
Like, it's just so silly and stupid, but she does it so perfectly because Parker Posey's an icon.
Parker Posey is, I think, really good at improv, and I also think her acting is very it's kind of a blink and you'll miss it like level of humor.
Nuanced.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
really good. The penis song is part of the extra scenes. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Wow. I mean, it is so nonsensical. You don't need it in the movie to make it
But
make sense.
imagine making that much of a production for a scene that I specifically was like, that movie was funny. Loved the penis song.
Of course.
Imagine that not being a part of it.
And what's really great about this movie is it holds up. There's really no ignorant comedy in it.
Yeah, no, not really.
Like, really no, because they're in Chinatown in San Francisco, which is a really huge part of San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they're not like they're not using an impersonation. Like, there's nothing really that screams ignorance.
No, they're on screen with Chinese people in Chinatown at one point.
Well, I'm just saying, like, so many of those movies back then are just so terrible, and there's so many bad jokes.
Yeah.
So it was just really refreshing to watch this and not be like, ooh, at all.
It's nice to not grimace at an old comedy that makes jokes at the expense of groups of people.
And look how easy it was.
Yeah.
And look how funny the movie was in spite of not having it.
Yeah.
What a concept.
A lot of the critical response is apparently everybody hated this movie.
Really?
Yeah. On Wikipedia, it says it was on Ebert and Roper's Worst of 2002 in the category Big Stars in Big Bombs.
Wow.
Fuck.
They don't
fuck
get it.
Ebert and Roper.
They don't fucking get it.
Who are these two old pieces of garbage?
Why did I write hospital contour at the lunch date? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, so Parker Posey doing my last favorite part of the whole movie is when they come running. They're like trying to make it to the wedding, and they're like swinging their purses just so erratically, like, oh, we gotta go, and they're like running, and they're
there
like,
there was a lot of frenzied purse swinging in this movie.
I love a frenzied purse swing.
Yeah.
It's so silly and girly-ish.
Yeah. So the crux of what I'm understanding for why you love and appreciate this movie is women being silly together.
Yeah, the movie montage.
Oh,
love
yeah.
The movie montage. Just, we don't see enough carefree women. It's always about their relationship. And yes, there was a relationship in this, but honestly, at the end of the movie,
It took a fucking back seat.
and at the end of the movie, she turns him down before the credits, which I love. She's like, she kisses him finally. And we skip the part where there's that whole scene where the penis ring gets stuck behind Thelma Blair's throat.
Thelma Blair's throat.
Thelma Blair's throat. That part is
I got it
stupid.
stuck in my throat.
They literally, with all those random extras, like, it's so nonsensical. It's so stupid. I love it.
It was dumb.
We need more just plain stupidity in comedies than like good jokes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think physical comedy goes a long way. It's so stupid. And
I Love Lucy is still funny.
Oh my, yeah, because it's so fucking incredibly physical.
It's physical, yeah, through and through.
People that can make people laugh through their bodies, I think that's a true talent.
Yeah.
Because you can say lines all you want, but if you can make someone laugh by like falling on your face or eating a bunch of food, you know what I mean? It's
physical
beautiful.
comedy is a skill that I mean, sure, you can rehearse it, but like nobody is feeding you lines when you're doing physical comedy.
Exactly.
Like,
that's all for me. No one can describe what you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's all about what you decide to do. So I think that's really impressive and not enough people. Now, my favorite line of the movie. Do you have a favorite line? The Punani Odor Department.
Punani Odor Department!
We very shortly changed a group chat to that name.
Okay, I would have kept it, but
someone didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about it after that.
Liked it.
I liked it. I mean, Punani
Odor.
We just like that movie more I don't think they wanted that to come up maybe when their phone turned on.
That's fair.
Like noon message from Punani Odor Department. If you're wearing AirPods.
My Siri is an Australian man, so new message from Punani Odor Department.
Odor Department.
Yeah.
Punani Odor Department. Odor Department.
You just
I'm
workshopping it.
I'm workshopping. I always am. The Australian accent is very hard. Quiet koalas. Yeah, Punani Odor Department's my favorite. What was that part again?
I specifically love the way Cameron Diaz says it too. She says, "I am all clear in the Punani Odor Department."
Thank you very much.
Punani Odor Department.
Punani Odor Department.
To those listeners, You say it at home right now. Punani. Like, it just feels
Punani
good
odor
to say.
department.
Punani odor department.
I just love words with P's.
Yeah.
Punani odor department.
We gotta stop. No.
Anyways, so other than that, I will say the music in the movie was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So iconic. Like, you've got Sexual Revolution by Macy Gray, The Turf.
Ooh.
Ooh, the timeliness of it all.
That fucking left hook came out of nowhere, Kim. Good job.
Oh man, yeah, that was really crazy that happened. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Oh, but wasn't I gonna tell you a really quick story before? Oh fuck, it's fine. It's not important. It's not anything to do with this. But that song's good. Now we have to think about it.
Despite it all.
The Pina Colada song is just so effortlessly iconic. You can't even. And they made me like the song again.
Yeah.
I remember. You've also got Shake Your Groove Thing, classic. And the When It's Over at the end is so good. When it's over. It's so quintessential like Y2K, and the outfits are incredible. It's just, it's an all around great moment in time.
Yeah.
It just really is so good. So in conclusion, please go watch The Sweetest Thing.
The Sweetest Thing.
Go watch it. Like, it's that good.
It was the sweetest thing.
And they say it in the movie. I don't love when they say the line of the movie.
Peter
he's like, that's just the sweetest thing, or some shit like
nobody
that.
Nobody talks like that. Shut up.
I'm like, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that either. It's like when you read the line in the book. It's like the same concept. You know?
So what made you gay? The thing that made me gay about this movie are the girlies girlying. In conclusion, and you'll understand what that means if you listen to this whole podcast.
I want to see women succeed together without the need for clambering over each other.
Yes.
At the expense of the other's happiness or success.
There was never a moment where you felt like they were competing with one another. There was never a moment where they got mad at each other that wasn't rightfully about important things in their lives.
And if they did argue or anything like that, it was so surface level, and it was all for like you could feel how supportive they were of each other, and I loved it. I
feel grateful that I have friends I would consider my sweetest thing girlies. Like, you're one of my sweetest thing girlies.
Am I Selma Blair?
Yes. Yes, the fuck you are.
I'm Selma Blair.
I'm obviously Christina Applegate.
I'm fucking a mascot guy in my department store job. We forgot about that, which is a good scene for her.
Yeah, because Selma Blair, that's her moment. She has sex with her boyfriend, who does like a weird character at a children's hospital. Why would you wear that to the department store?
Yeah, and have sex with your girlfriend, I guess.
And she's like humping him in the fucking
suit.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
So what would I change about this to make it more gay? Get rid of all the men.
Yep.
But why would they go on the road trip?
I think that's just going to be the common thread of the answer to that question. Get rid of the men.
Get rid of the men.
Only women having fun.
I would have loved to see two of them get together romantically, but that's not true. No, actually, I take that back. Because in this movie, I love the friendship so much, I wouldn't want that. Because usually I would.
Sully it, you know?
Usually I would, but not this time. Ooh, Parker Posey needs to get with one of them.
Parker Posey just needs to be part of the friend group.
That's true. Oh, that would have been a nice ending if she had, like, ended up being friends with everybody.
Yeah, it would have been cute.
Oh, Selma Blair. Okay. New Sex in the City with those four. That would have been a good fucking movie.
Just turn it into a show. It's fine.
I think that would have been a great show. People would have loved that shit. Fuck Samantha Who. And I think the queer-coded characters of the movie, there aren't really any. But
no. Not really, no.
I think that the bond of womanhood and friendship is like all that I care about, which is usually not. Usually I'm like, I want this to be more gay, but honestly, I'm happy with it.
I was sated. Yeah, I was
sated.
I was comfortable. I was happy.
Now, at 1 out of 10, why is this why you're gay? I said 9 out of 10.
Damn.
Because I am those girlies. Like, I want to be a carefree. And because this movie impacted me so much, I have this playlist called Carefree Bitches Only.
They're the title card.
They are the picture on the cover. Because it's like the music that I have on there is exactly how I feel when I think about the girlies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if I need to answer that question as well, but
1 out of 10. How gay did this movie make you?
We're gonna say like a
Because it's different for you than for me.
yeah.
And that's okay.
I think it falls at like a 5 or a 6.
That's fair.
I enjoy it, and I like the feminine bond of it all.
Yes.
Which I think is a little gay.
A little gray.
It's a little gay.
Well, anyways, guys, watch that fucking movie.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Watch the movie.
Respond to the poll if you've watched the movie.
No, they're actually.
I gotta get all these jokes out now.
There are polls on Spotify that I will make one for this.
I completely forgot about those until one of them ended, and I was like one.
You're the only.
I think I was like the only bitch.
No, but there were hundreds that responded.
Yeah, everybody watches this.
So, guys, we love you so much. I mean, we wanted to keep it kind of short because we're still working out the kinks, and I
Yeah.
think we kept it at a good place today because we didn't really. That was all we had to say.
Yeah,
we
totally.
said what we needed to say. We didn't babble on.
And we said it.
Battle for your life. Babble on. That's gossip. So let's talk a little bit about our social media before we go. Please follow us at This Is Why I'm Gay podcast on Instagram. I'm still in the once you see this on video, it will obviously already be up. So I'm assuming I'm gonna make the YouTube the same name. This Is Why I'm Gay podcast. So it's all just pretty easy. And please like, comment, subscribe, tell your gay friends, post it on your stories.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have the internet to thank for how we live our lives now, but it's okay.
Yep.
It's what we have to do. And we think this is worth sharing.
Yeah. I mean
fuck.
I've had people tell me about listening to this who are not like my best friends, you know? Like these
That's
are
good.
people who have organically listened to the podcast, and I have to say, thank you.
Thank
I
you
am
so
very
much.
flattered that people have an interest in what the two of us have to say, and this is fun and enjoyable, and we're going to keep doing it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks I'm very fascinating.
Yeah. I think you're fascinating.
Thank you, Kelly. I love you.
I love you too.
I had so much fun today.
Yeah, we got over the hurdle. We're here. We did it. It was amazing.
If there isn't an audio or equipment problem before we start the show,
This Is Why I'm Gay podcast.
Did we actually do a show? Well, with that being said, I'm Kim,
I'm Kelly.
and this
Is why
I
I'm
am
gay.
gay.
That was really
and this is why I'm
Get
gay.
me out of here.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Bella.
Bella, ciao,
All right.
Bella.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Bye.